Diplomatic efforts toward placing serious chemical weapons under international control intensified on Wednesday, and UN investigators concluded Syrian government forces were almost certainly responsible for two May massacres that killed up to 450 civilians in the bloody civil war. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov spoke by phone one day before they meet in Geneva to try to forge a joint strategy on eliminating Syria's chemical arsenal. In New York, envoys from the five permanent UN Security Council member states, the United States, Britain, China, France, and Russia, were due to discuss a French draft resolution. It would give Syrian President Bashar al-Assad an ultimatum to give up his chemical weapons arsenal or face punitive measures, an approach which Russia rejects. Overhanging the talks in Geneva will be Russia's opposition to a continued threat of military action that the United States says is needed to ensure Syria complies. U.S. President Barack Obama said in a speech on Tuesday that he had asked the U.S. Congress to put off a vote on his request to authorize the U.S. of military action to let diplomacy play out. Obama cited encouraging signs in recent days, in part because of the U.S. threat of military action to punish Assad for what the United States says was the Syrian government's use of poison gas to kill 1,400 civilians in Damascus on August 21st. Kerry also planned to meet UN Arab League envoy Lakhdar Brahimi while in Geneva. State Department spokeswoman Jen Psaki said on Wednesday at least 2 days of U.S.-Russian talks are expected there, possibly more. Russia has given the United States its plan for placing Syria's chemical weapons arsenal under international control and intends to discuss it at the Geneva meeting. Russia has been Assad's most powerful backer during the civil war that has killed more than 100,000 people since 2011, delivering arms and with China blocking 3 UN resolutions meant to pressure Assad. Syria accepted a Russian proposal on Tuesday to give up chemical weapons. In a reminder of the mounting atrocities committed in the Syrian civil war that began in 2011, a report by a UN Commission of Inquiry released in Geneva documented 8 mass killings, attributing all but one to government forces. The report said both government and rebel fighters had committed war crimes including murder, hostage-taking, and killing of civilians. The commission, led by Paulo Painero of Brazil, urged the UN Security Council to hold perpetrators accountable for war crimes and crimes against humanity. The killings in Baida and Ras el-Naba, 2 pockets of rebel sympathizers surrounded by villages loyal to Assad on the outskirts of the town of Banias, did not involve fighting with rebels and appear designed to send a message to deterrence. The Syria conflict began in March 2011 as an uprising against Assad and descended into a civil war in which mostly Sunni Muslim rebels are pitted against Assad's forces or are backed by Shiite Muslim Iran and Hezbollah. In Moscow, Russia's parliament urged the United States not to strike Syria, saying in a unanimous declaration that military action could be a crime against the Syrian people. The non-binding declaration by the State Duma, the lower chamber dominated by the Kremlin-controlled United Russia Party, echoed the opposition by President Vladimir Putin to U.S. military action. The Duma expressed support for Russia's proposal to place Syria's chemical arsenal under international control, which Putin said on Tuesday would only succeed if the United States and its allies abandoned plans for possible military action. The French government said it remained determined to punish Assad over chemical weapons if diplomacy failed, and said a military strike was still possible.